Hey, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. Well, I have some kind of bad news, and that is the state of health of America's kids. I just saw a thing this morning in my X feed that dealt with the number of kids that are being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and it's now up to about a third. A third of the country's kids have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. At the same time, we're also seeing a massive increase in the amount of fatty liver disease, which is now running about 10 to 12%. This is kind of amazing when you think about it, because when I was a kid, nobody had type 2 diabetes as a kid, and fatty liver disease was often referred to as alcoholic fatty liver disease, because the only people that got it were adults. And even when they said they didn't drink, everybody just assumed they did, because those were the only people who got fatty liver. And the reason why this is such a growing health problem is, if you want the number one indicator of what's going to cause you to have a heart attack, it's going to be type 2 diabetes. That is by far the worst number one thing that you can have if you want to have a heart attack, is type 2 diabetes. And we're setting our kids up for it at an earlier and earlier age. It causes, prediabetes and type 2 diabetes cause a browning effect to our joints. It's kind of like when you're trying to make toast. It's, you slowly turn up the oven, and like the bread kind of toast, same thing affects your joints. Normally your joints should be this nice white color, and what'll happen to people that are type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic is they start browning the joints, and they start wearing out much faster. So this is what the effect of it's going to be. And if you get fatty liver and you don't take care of it, that is one of those issues that is eventually going to lead to cirrhosis of the liver. And then once that happens, that's it. You've got once the liver dies, it doesn't regenerate, and you need to get a new liver. So we're setting this whole generation up for really serious issues. And you may be saying, well, gosh, and this has got to be a genetic thing, or there's got to be something going on. And yeah, it is. There's a problem going on, and it's not genetic, it's the food supply. Dr. Robert Lustig did some great studies and showed that you can reverse fatty liver, you can reverse type 2 diabetes in kids just simply by getting rid of the sugar. Particularly high fructose corn syrup, and it's not that hard. To change it. If you give kids real food, they don't get it. And they won't, they'll be healthier and happier for it. And they'll be able to pay more attention in schools. And you may be thinking, oh gosh, well, if the government knows this because it's on a CDC website that all these kids have pre-type 2 diabetes, they've got to be doing something about it. Yeah, they're making it worse. When you look at, your school lunch program menu, you're going to see, and take a look at it when school starts again. They publish usually what they're serving at the schools, and many kids get breakfast and lunch at schools. And what are they getting? Muffins, skim milk, orange juice, all of which create. That's for breakfast. That's the breakfast menu. That's what's going to lead to type 2 diabetes. They're getting ultra-processed food. Over 70% of their calories. And the average American kid is ultra-processed foods. They get this stuff at school, they come home and they get chicken nuggets. And it is creating serious health effects. And they are going to mean that, early heart attacks, bad joints, fatty liver, liver transplants, all this type of stuff. And what's Big Pharma's solution to it? Oh, we need to start giving kids GLP-1 inhibitors. It's not more drugs. You don't need more drugs. All you need is real food. If the government would just quit giving them these stupid muffins and give them a hard-boiled egg, it would take care of the problem. But so far, that hasn't happened. Basically, it is up to the adults, it's up to the parents to start fixing this problem, because this is a reversible condition. You're not destined for type 2 diabetes. It is inflicted upon you if you are a kid. By giving them bad food, particularly ultra-processed, sugary-laden food, it is preventable. And you don't have to, inflict that upon your kids. Real food is real medicine. It will help change this country and make our health better. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded people. I will talk to you again soon.